On a day 66 million years ago, an object was hurtling towards Earth. It was a huge asteroid, 10 kilometers, the equivalent of about 6 miles in diameter. At that time, Earth was dominated by dinosaurs that had achieved the apex of their evolution. The asteroid slammed into the ocean off the coast of what is now North America. A huge superheated blast wave ensued. In an instant, wildfires erupted throughout the globe. An enormous amount of dust was ejected into the atmosphere, blocking the rays from the sun. After that, the dinosaurs were confronted by a period of prolonged worldwide cold weather called the impact winter. The asteroid impact was thought to have been the event that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. However, now, based on recent evidence, some scientists are beginning to think that some dinosaurs survived the asteroid impact.
They may have lived maybe more than centuries or even millennia.
It could have spanned 10, 15, or 20,000 years before you finally saw the complete extinction of the dinosaurs.
また違った恐竜たちの絶滅ストーリーっていうのが行われたんじゃないかなというふうに思っています。
If this new theory proves to be true, where and how did some dinosaurs survive? For that, we turn to the southern hemisphere, on the vast continent that existed in the dinosaur age. It's here that scientists are discovering evidence that suggests the possibility that some dinosaurs living in the far southern hemisphere could have escaped extinction.
We suspect this part of the world could potentially have been a place where non-avian dinosaurs lingered on for 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years maybe, after that boundary extinction 66 million years ago.
What is the new dinosaur extinction scenario that the scientists now envision? Earth, 66 million years ago, the period when the dinosaurs were at the peak of their evolution. On the North American continent reigned Tyrannosaurus, the iconic carnivorous dinosaur. Its prey, Triceratops. As a result of the life and death struggle for survival for millennia, the dinosaurs had evolved into a variety of shapes and sizes. Ankylosaurus had a large hammer-like appendage on its tail, useful for warding off carnivorous dinosaurs. Not only were the dinosaurs evolving in shape and size, but they also developed skills to assure the survival of the next generation. Edmontosaurus, a dinosaur living in North America, built mounds to lay their eggs and waited for the new hatchlings. On the Asian continent, there lived anything but ordinary dinosaurs. Deinocheirus was characterized by its long forelimbs. It measured 10 meters in length. Its entire body was covered in feathers like a bird. Next, we go to the southern hemisphere. South America was still a portion of a large continent that was the remnant of the supercontinent Gondwana. A supercolossal dinosaur, Puertosaurus, 35 meters, or about 115 feet in length, were living here. Its natural enemy was Maip, the giant carnivorous dinosaur with sharp talons, some as big as 40 centimeters, 14 inches long. Maip was 10 meters long, or around 33 feet. In the southern hemisphere, these gigantic dinosaurs spent their days battling each other and raising young. 66 million years ago, the dinosaurs literally reigned and ruled the earth. But that was about to change drastically. The huge asteroid that is supposed to have ended the dinosaur age is hurtling towards Earth. Its traces still remain here in America, in the state of Colorado.
So this white line right here, that's the KPG boundary.
This geological stratum, called the KPG boundary, was created by the asteroid impact 66 million years ago. Dinosaur fossils have been found in the strata below this boundary, but not above it. In other words, no dinosaur fossil bones have been above this layer. That's why it's presumed that the dinosaurs became extinct due to the asteroid impact. The oldest dinosaur fossil is 230 million years old, discovered deep below this layer that's identifiable worldwide. For those fossils found near the KPG layer, they lived closer to that day, 66 million years ago, when the asteroid collision brought pure horror. So what happened to the dinosaurs when the huge asteroid slammed into Earth? From fossil evidence, geologic investigations, and deep-sea drilling, scientists have been able to surmise what happened moment by moment after impact. The asteroid closes in on Earth at a tremendous speed. It's a giant, a once in every 100 million year event. The huge asteroid smashes into the ocean off the coast of Laurasia, the ancient continent that included today's North America. The impact hurls an estimated 10 trillion metric tons of Earth's crust through the atmosphere before the debris comes raining back down. The dinosaurs near Ground Zero are instantaneously vaporized by the superheated impact blast. A mega tsunami caused by the impact was over 100 meters. That's well over 330 feet high in scientific simulations, barreling towards land and across the world's oceans. Worse yet, The damaging effect of the impact further spreads around the world. Many plants and animals, on land or in the seas, went extinct. Everywhere, the superheated atmosphere is now igniting massive wildfires. The fires and the superheated air kills all creatures and plants in its path. Seemingly, everywhere is in the kill zone. The choking smoke of the fires fills the skies across the globe, even blanketing the vast continent in the southern hemisphere, near modern-day Patagonia in South America. Puertosaurus herds flee from the intense wildfire caused by the asteroid impact several thousands of miles away to the north. Dinosaurs all over Earth must have been trying to escape the flames and the acrid smoke. Juveniles make it to the safety of a cave, but the fully grown 6-story high adult cannot. Scientists estimate that 75% of all plants and animals, whether on land or in the oceans, were wiped out. What does fate have in store for these two juveniles? In fact, some scientists are beginning to suggest that despite the catastrophic worldwide wildfires, there's a possibility that some dinosaurs could have survived. One of these scientists is David Kring of the Lunar and Planetary Institute. The cause of the wildfires was the dust and rocks ejected very high into space. As they fell back to Earth, they were superheated by the friction with the air, igniting serious, massive wildfires on the surface. The majority of the dinosaurs were thought to have died when the flames spread very quickly throughout the globe. But when a simulation was conducted to see how the superheated wave spread from the impact point, the results were quite unexpected. Surely the heat wave spread with time. However, there were certain locations where the heat wave did not reach, which are displayed in black.
Those wildfires did not occur everywhere. The distribution of wildfires was uneven across the globe.
Furthermore, another scientist points out that there was a place that was particularly untouched by wildfires. Seiji Sugita of the University of Tokyo is a world authority on meteoroid impacts. Sugita analyzed the traces of the asteroid impact on the Yucatan Peninsula. When the impact point was scanned with specialized techniques, a crater 180 kilometers wide appeared underwater. Close examination showed that the crater was open at the top. This revealed that the bedrock melted by the impact flowed in a northwesterly direction. Sugita says that this occurred because the asteroid impacted at an angle, from the south in a northerly trajectory. He also points out that this caused greater damage in the northern hemisphere and conversely less damage in the southern hemisphere.
南の方から巨大隕石が飛来して、でその結果非常に高温の巨大な火の玉のようなものが、北米の方にこうバーッと飛んでいくんですけども、北米に限らず、他のヨーロッパとかアジアも含めて大きな影響を与えた可能性が高くてですね、この影響は南半球に関しては非常に限定で的であったというふうに我々は考えています。
During the dinosaur age, there was a supercontinent called Gondwana in the southern hemisphere. It gradually split apart about 66 million years ago. The land masses of South America, Antarctica, and Australia were still connected. And scientists now believe, on the southern continent, far from the impact site, the damage may have been limited, and the dinosaurs living there could have had a good chance to survive. Several days after the asteroid impact, this is where the Puertosaurus hid in the cave. Even though they've survived the superheated wave and the wildfires, they're now starving. And it's not only the two Puertosaurus that have survived, so have their predators. They are desperately searching for food. They could need up to 100 kilograms per day. It's a maipe, the most powerful carnivorous dinosaur in South America at the time. The male juvenile uses all the strength that's left. In the end, this lone and weakened maipe that has strayed from its pack doesn't have the strength to attack a larger prey. The juvenile sauropods have escaped with their lives, but if they don't find anything to eat, they'll surely die. There still are some plants, the vicinity of Patagonia where they lived. Scientists are starting to think that there may have been a region that received very little damage. By pure chance, the young Puertosaurus are headed in that direction. It's the southern tip of the southern hemisphere, the modern-day Antarctica and its vicinity. Research has revealed that Antarctica at that time was relatively warm and was home to a variety of dinosaurs. In Antarctica and its environs, there still could have been food to sustain the dinosaurs. In fact, an interesting fossil that could prove this hypothesis has been found. It was found on a tiny island in Chile near Antarctica at the southern tip of South America. This is Harufumi Nishida of Chuo University, who reported the discovery in 2015. He's an internationally respected authority on paleobotany.
This is Shida種類の化石ですね。
Seed fern was a plant that flourished in the dinosaur age. For a long time, scientists believed that they became extinct as a result of the asteroid impact. But the fossil Nishida found was dated to around 5 million years after the collision.
この化石が重要なのは見つかったのがまず新生代という、隕石で恐竜が絶滅したと考えられている時の後の地層から見つかっているということですね。南半球のしかも南では植物がかなり生き残っていた可能性があると。だからそれを食べる恐竜のようなね動物ももしかしたら生き残っていたかもしれないということにつながるわけですね。
Some paleontologists agree. One of them is Julia Clark of the University of Texas at Austin, a world-renowned paleontologist and evolutionary biologist. She's been excavating dinosaur fossils in the Antarctic.
And they may show different patterns on timescales where we have non-avian dinosaurs surviving for 100, for a couple of thousand years in these sites that are very far from the impact location. And this might include something like different responses to things like the impact winter or the short-term changes that were associated with this asteroid impact.
Another is Carnegie Museum of Natural History's Matthew Lamanna, who has gone on excavation expeditions to Antarctica with Julia Clark. Lamanna says that there's something missing in the geological strata that actually supports the concept of southern South America and Antarctica as safe regions 66 million years ago.
I can tell you that our teams working in Antarctica have not found any evidence of paleo wildfires at the KPG boundary, or is enabling them to last maybe 1,000 years, maybe 10,000 years, maybe 100,000 years beyond that asteroid impact.
About a month after the asteroid impact, the two are almost at the limit of their endurance. Then, they see before them an endless sea of green. They started from the area near what is now Patagonia, and by chance, they have arrived in Antarctica. It was warmer at the time, not the continent of thick ice we know today. Those dinosaurs could have survived the collision. Their long journey has finally come to an end, as they have reached a place where they can live. There resides a little dinosaur with bird-like feathers. The feathered Maniraptoran is about the size of a seagull. This armored dinosaur, with hard scales all over its body, is Stegoros. Even in this refuge, the dinosaurs still have to battle for survival as before. The hunters are 4 meters long, or 13 feet long in parabators. The attackers turn to larger prey, the young male. His mate delivers a powerful blow. The two have gone through hardships together and have become good partners. Another disastrous event, the impact winter, has begun. Snow is falling. The cause is the massive amount of dust and ash ejected by the impact. It has spread throughout the atmosphere like a thick cloud, blocking the sun's rays and cooling the earth. And anywhere between several months and half a year after the collision, the impact winter began to change the planet's climate, not making survival any easier in the northern or southern hemispheres. The refuge in Antarctica is no exception. The temperature drops by about 20 degrees Celsius. For a long time, it was believed that this extreme cold dealt the catastrophic blow to the surviving dinosaurs. The bitter cold would have made the leaves wither and fall. Yet, the dinosaurs must have tried to survive by eating branches and roots, or whatever vegetation they could find. They're searching for food by using a network of nerves in the lower jaw. Unbelievably, plants. The next day, a blizzard begins. Scientists speculate that colossal dinosaurs like Puertosaurus were able to retain their body heat because their large bodies were slow to cool. The impact winter is thought to have lasted for at least several months and could have continued for 10 long years. Supporting the belief that there were dinosaurs that survived even the impact winter, there are a flurry of recent discoveries of dinosaur fossils in the Arctic Circle, far from the southern hemisphere. Yoshitsugu Kobayashi of Hokkaido University also made an important discovery in Alaska, where during the dinosaur age, before the asteroid impact, the winter season temperatures dropped below freezing.
子供もしてたの。
子供もある。ああ。
大人と子供。
Kobayashi and his colleagues took particular notice of the fact that a young dinosaur's footprint was discovered, along with that of an adult. Young juveniles would not have been able to migrate great distances to escape the winter cold. So, Kobayashi concluded that in the Arctic Circle, many dinosaurs may have lived year-round. Similarly, could some of the southern hemisphere survivors have outlasted the cold?
私たちアラスカの研究をすると、実は結構雪原が広がるような厳しい環境でもさまざまな恐竜が越冬できたんじゃないかっていう証拠が次々と出てきています。でそう考えると衝突の冬が来ても世代を超えてある程度は例えば数十年数百年単位で恐竜が生き延びることができたんじゃないかなというふうに思っています。
Researchers also point to the possibility that dinosaurs could reproduce even during the impact winter. Some dinosaurs in a group called sauropods, including Puertosaurus, may have known to use a certain method. Kohei Tanaka of the University of Tsukuba specializes in dinosaur egg research.
衝突の冬で多くの恐竜は絶滅してしまったというふうに言われてるんですけれども、こんなふうに辺り一面雪で覆われているような環境でも地熱帯は暖かく保たれてるんですよね。こういうような場所であれば竜脚類は卵を産んで、その熱を利用して卵を孵化させることができたと考えられます。
Scientists already know that dinosaurs in the same group as Puertosaurus used geothermal heat to hatch their eggs.
.衝突の冬を迎えて環境が激変したとしても こういう場所を利用して卵を温めて孵化させていくことで命をつないでいくことができたんじゃないかなっていうふうに考えられます。
Some fossil sauropod eggs have been excavated in Argentina at a nesting site that was a geothermal area during the Cretaceous. Approximately 3 months later, these warm sands might have allowed a first generation born after the asteroid impact. The two juveniles could have made it to maturity through desperate times in harsh conditions and could have successfully produced a new generation. They've survived the wildfires, starvation, and even the impact winter. In the refuge in Antarctica, some decades have passed since the asteroid impact. Over time, small mammals, who are our ancestors, seem to have gradually risen to prominence. However, in this scenario, the giant dinosaurs are still living on. The male has grown to a length of 35 meters now. Behind the pair are their offspring. Paleontological studies have provided a clear picture of certain dinosaurs that actually lived through the impact winter and are still alive to this day. They are birds. We now know that birds are avian dinosaurs that evolved from non-avian dinosaurs. The evolution is thought to have occurred in the Jurassic. It was the discovery of a fossil of a feathered dinosaur in the 1990s that led to the recognition that birds evolved from dinosaurs. Since then, with more discoveries of feathered dinosaurs, there's become no doubt that birds are indeed direct descendants of dinosaurs. So why then did avian dinosaurs, birds, survive, while the other dinosaurs have disappeared? Previously, their differences in sizes were given as the cause. Many scientists reasoned that compared to birds, dinosaurs were overwhelmingly large. And since they required a lot of food, they couldn't adapt to the rapid changes in the environment, which led to their extinction. But Tanaka thinks that couldn't have been the reason. His group has unearthed tiny, non-avian dinosaurs that were smaller than birds. If size made the difference, why did these tiny dinosaurs become extinct, while birds did not? He says the exact reason is still unknown.
なぜ恐竜が絶滅してしまったのかっていうのは大きな謎だと思います。白鳥よりもずっと小さな恐竜たちが実は恐竜時代にたくさんいたことが分かってきました。なぜ 隕石衝突によって恐竜たちが絶滅してしまったのか、鳥類哺乳類が生き延びたのか、これはとても大きな難題として新たに浮かび上がってきたわけです。
Then why did the birds remain while the other dinosaurs have gone? It's believed that the asteroid impact also caused other disasters than what we have seen, like global warming and ocean acidification. So did these conditions drive the dinosaurs into extinction? What decided their very different fates? There's no end to the mysteries surrounding dinosaur extinction. There's a researcher who claims that the dinosaurs may have walked the Earth much longer, well into the Paleocene, the early Cenozoic era, even 200,000 years after the asteroid strike. This is the man who made the shocking announcement, James Fassett, formerly with the U.S. Geological Survey. He published in a report that he found this huge dinosaur bone from a Paleocene stratum, which is after the asteroid impact, above the line where no dinosaur bones are supposedly found. This is the bone of a duck-billed herbivorous dinosaur, the hadrosaurid. It's a close cousin of Edmontosaurus, the dinosaur that laid the eggs in the mound. Fassett discovered the bone in the northern hemisphere in New Mexico, USA, relatively near the impact site of the asteroid. From the same stratum of the Paleocene, he discovered fossils of 4 different species of dinosaurs. He claims that a variety of dinosaurs could have coexisted for some time with the mammals that had begun to dominate.
We have the bone in the cliff. Below it here, coal bed that we collected and analyzed, and it's Paleocene pollen, no question. So it's a Paleocene dinosaur. We know that.
Let us see what James Fassett imagines. 200,000 years after the asteroid impact, in the Paleocene, the early Cenozoic era, the age of mammals has begun. Here comes a mammal. At the time, mammals were about the size of a modern-day capybara. During the dinosaur age, most of the mammals were about the size of a small mouse. But about this time, they're beginning to get larger. But still existing with them is this king. Fassett claims that giant dinosaurs like this Edmontosaurus were still living among the mammals, at least in some parts of the world. This is the Paleocene world James Fassett envisions.
Yeah, after the asteroid impact hit the Earth, We all know that it was a devastated environment. However, in various sites throughout the country and throughout the world, a short time later, a very short time, the plants came back and they came back abundantly. There was less vegetation and the dinosaurs were happy eating that, and the T-Rexes were eating them.
But the number of experts who refute the findings in Fassett's paper is not small. They say that the fossil had made its way into the Paleocene stratum only by chance through a process called rework, meaning fossils from older sedimentary beds are redeposited or transformed in newer, younger beds by erosion. Often, the fossils are degraded by this exposure to weathering or wave action. The detractors insist that the fossil belongs to a dinosaur that lived before the asteroid impact. So, who is right? Today is an important day for James Fassett because Philip Currie is here for a visit. Currie has been studying dinosaurs for 50 years. He's a legend in his field. For Currie, it's the first day to see Fassett's fossil firsthand.
Yeah, it's brand new. They're setting it up.
Huh. Obviously, they got some projects going. Whoa!
I know, isn't that something?
It is. That's huge. I'm curious because all I've been able to do so far is look at photographs.
So what was Philip Currie's impression of the Paleocene dinosaur fossil? Was the fossil bone redeposited by natural forces?
Yeah, well, the fact that this is found in the Paleocene is just so interesting because, you just don't expect a big bone like this to be transported very far. These bones get very fragile very quickly. And, as far as Alberta's concerned, when we find a big bone like this, it's exposed for a couple of months and then it starts to break up.
Yeah, I would think those things would be very easily
Destroyed.
destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Judging from the good condition of the fossil, Currie thinks it's hard to believe what many dinosaur researchers claim, that this was a rework. Then, is it a fossil of a dinosaur that lived after the asteroid impact, as James Fassett believes? Researchers at the University of New Mexico, where this fossil is kept, have decided to do further research on the fossil. Patagonia, South America, once a part of the vast continent of the Southern Hemisphere. Researchers are finding intriguing evidence at one site with perfect stratigraphy. The location is Las Chinas Valley, near the southern tip of Chile. In January 2023, Chuo University's Nishida conducted a joint expedition with Marcelo Lepe of the Chilean Antarctic Institute here. Recently, the existence of a geological formation spanning 6 million years, beginning with the time of the asteroid impact, has come to light in this location. By examining the area, Nishida and Lepe hope to find out more about the dinosaurs who lived in and around Antarctica and what effect the asteroid impact had on their environment.
隕石の衝突の証拠というのが6600万年前とされているので、この見えている地層の中にその隕石の影響のあった地層も含まれているはずなんですね。で、今そこで生物の化石が全部下から上まで出てくるので、ここで実際にどうであったかということを調べることができるわけです。ですからそういう点でまだまだこれからやることはたくさんあるわけですね。
We have one of the Earth's grandest mysteries. What happened to dinosaurs and most life on Earth 66 million years ago? And I wish I could come back in 50 years and see what they've learned, because I have a feeling that this story is going to be a lot more fascinating once they've helped answer those questions.
And as we struggle through to find the answers, we not only find answers, we find more questions.
もしかしたら新しい説が生まれるかもしれない。だから恐竜絶滅ってまだまだ研究やることいっぱいあるので、私も頑張りますけども、この今見ている若い次世代が一緒に参加してもらって、この謎解きゲーム一緒にトライしてもらいたいなと思っています。
What amazing secrets does the Earth still hold, just waiting to be discovered? The dinosaur extinction scenario is sure to be written and rewritten over and over again with each new discovery.